Thank you, Presiding Officers. When the Scottish Conservatives brought a debate around hotels and housing asylum seekers, I said that discussions around illegal immigration, no matter how difficult, are important. I also raised the horrific attack in my own region of a 15-year-old girl in Falkirk who was raped by an asylum seeker who entered the UK illegally. Distrust in politicians, both locally and nationally, is rising because they are choosing not to listen to the valid concerns of communities. And the statement today does not address the questions in relation to pressures on public services, which fuels the division in our communities. So, Minister, I do have to ask you, what is your response to my constituents who are concerned by what happens in their community?
Through the Chair,
what additional
Minister.
protections?
Thank you, Presiding Officer. As I have already stated, I think we all have a responsibility in this chamber to ensure that we use our leadership and our language very, very carefully and respectfully. Now, I absolutely understand, and I think Megan Gallagher has raised that before, and I responded to it, and I accepted that that is an appalling situation. And at this moment, I would also like to share stories of Pakistani young girls that are getting attacked and racial abuse on their way to school. We have old-age pensioners that are now too frightened to go out from various communities. So I think that this is something that, you know, we need to be very careful again about not pitting communities against one another, but using our platforms to bring people together.
And briefly, Rona Mackay.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. So, as the Minister said, in recent months we've witnessed a deeply concerning rise in levels of divisive anti-migration rhetoric across the UK, and largely driven by misinformation. The spread of this rhetoric is isolating and stigmatises vulnerable people who've come here in search of safety. What assurances can the Minister provide that Scotland continues to be a welcoming nation for asylum seekers, and can she outline how the Scottish Government is working to counter this dreadful misinformation?
As briefly as possible, Minister.
Thank you. We are working with our partners, including Scottish Refugee Council, local authorities and other third sector partners, to challenge this increasingly stigmatising narrative and to find ways for communities to come together with respectful dialogue and shared understanding. We're also working with the Home Office to tackle the sources of misinformation and disinformation that perpetuate harmful narratives. And just to briefly finish, I would like to take the opportunity, Presiding Officer, to point out that we must not, unfortunately, the human condition, and none of us are perfect, and some go into criminality. Now, what we must not do is to divide them or target them and blame entire communities for the actions of a few.
Thank you.